Hey, happy Monday again to many
Again,
of you.
Long time no see, you
I
guys.
know. How are you?
I think just as good as I was a couple hours ago when we were hanging out, but
I'm in Shannon. Don't get over yourself, Anthony.
fair. I'm not the one with the good hair. Y'all missed the entire hair conversation before we went live here. Nobody complimented mine.
That's because your hat is distracting
Yeah,
us.
take the hat off.
There is no. I think at this point I'm highly established with the slightly askew hat.
Right.
It's a done deal.
We did get the card pointer's birthday hat a couple weeks back.
We did, but it was on top of my regular hat. So I met somebody at a meetup this weekend, a Jagut Village member who I hadn't gotten to meet before, and that was their question. What's under that hat? Why do you always wear it? You'll never know. It's a trade secret. So, well, hey, welcome everybody officially to the Earning Multipliers Q&A for February. Kira and Shannon are hanging out ready to take on all of your Earning Multiplier specific questions. I want to give you kind of a heads up, a reminder. The topic of this Q&A specifically is earning multipliers. We're going to talk about earning more points, getting more value out of your everyday spend. So those are the questions we're going to bring up to them tonight. If you are just a member of the Earning Multipliers course, cool. We're glad that you're here. You probably know that. If you are one of our new Jagut Vault members, let me throw this up here. You have access to 6 different Q&As throughout the month. So any Jagut way of travel related questions you have, there's a place for you to ask them. So this is our second to last Q&A of the month. We've got one more coming up in just a few days here. But you can go and catch all of these replays. If there are any that you missed, you can visit jagut.com/school to go get caught up on the replays, because there's been a lot of great questions and great answers throughout the month here. So if you're not a member of the Jagut Vault, highly recommend you go check that out. You can do that at jagut.com/vault after we get done this evening. So Kira, Shannon, I know there's a whole bunch of questions lined up and waiting for you. Are y'all ready to get this party started?
We're ready.
All right.
Cool. I don't want to speak for you, Shannon. Are you ready?
I don't know. My fingers are still a little cramped from the live stream this
I was going to say
earlier today.
Live stream warm up, so I'm ready to.
But I do feel brushed up on my built cash. But Kira's the true expert there. I'll take the onesie twosie easy ones.
I love it. There's some great built questions out there as well, but there's some other ones.
No built questions tonight. We're going to see.
Oh, never mind. There you go. Just kidding. Before the chat blows. You say that, but I'm going to be the one in the chat with everybody who's like, wait, what?
Just kidding. Ask your questions. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of the chat, keep an eye on that as well. I will try to answer some of them there as well that are just kind of quick, simple, straightforward answers so that we can let Kira and Shannon focus on where they can bring the most value. So if you drop a question in the chat, also keep an eye on it. I'll try to tag you, so you should see my answer as well. So I'll see y'all on the other side.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool. I have issues using Visa or MasterCard gift cards I buy at office supply stores online. In store, they work great. Do you have any tips to make them work online? So if I'm being honest, I think the usability of gift cards, these vanilla Visa, MasterCard gift cards, is one of the biggest hindrances of using them as an earning technique. They aren't accepted everywhere. You're going to run into issues with them being accepted. Something that does seem to help out is if you get a PIN number assigned to them and use them more of like a debit card instead of a credit card, it helps with the transaction processing. But just know it's a risk with these gift cards. They are not universally accepted. It's not like, hey, anywhere a Visa's accepted, this gift card will be accepted. You'll run into issues with it. I want to earn AA miles. When shopping, say AA is 2x and Rakuten is 4x. Do you always go with the higher one, Or how do you determine when it's worth it to earn a few points for a specific airline? There's a lot of meat in this question. You started it off by saying you want to earn AA miles. So I'm going to presume you fly AA a lot. You've got button seat miles, meaning you're actually earning points from flying from A to B. A lot of your point accumulation is from real travel, not just from artificial purchasing. And so when you're earning your AA points, it's really just to bump up your point stash or maybe bump you up to the next level of status. In which case, you are going to want to evaluate where you need those points. Most of the time, you're going to go with the higher multiplier. Rakuten's 4, it's a higher multiplier. And frankly, the points you earn, whether they're Bilt or Amex, are more valuable than AA points. So that's going to be your default. Go where the value is. But if you have a very specific reason for needing those AA points, sometimes you can forego the higher value for your very, very specific reason. Now, if it's just like, I like AA points and I'm just trying to build up my stash, it's really not the logical way to be focusing on those branded miles. Want to get SoFi personal loan points from Rakuten. Rakuten only lets one loan per account. If I co-sign for P2 on his Rakuten account, can I still do a new and separate loan on my Rakuten account later? So I might need you to help me decipher this one, Shannon, but I'm thinking he's asking if he co-signs on a loan, will that impact his Rakuten account? Or
yeah, so you know how SoFi, you can only have one account and you open it and it's direct deposit. I don't know about getting a loan with SoFi, but yes, it is one loan per account. But if you co-sign for your P2, as long as the P2 has their own Rakuten account, I don't believe that's tracked.
Right,
it's tracked your information.
I don't think so either. It should just track the main borrower, and so you could then get it on your own. I don't think being a co-signer. If you're saying co-signing a loan, if that's where that's coming from, then I think you should be fine with both. From your Bilt webinar earlier today, can you speak more about why, if your spend is greater than mortgage, to still choose option 1 versus earning more Bilt cash to use the accelerator, which was a big perk also? So this is a great question, and it actually kind of gets in the weeds about Bilt cash and valuation and all of that, and kind of a nice segue from what I was just mentioning with AA. Bilt cash doesn't have real value. So when you are earning Bilt cash, it's just ancillary. You can't dedicate value to it. So when we are trying to decide the best way to utilize our Bilt accounts and utilize our multipliers, we need to do the math of, where do I earn the most points? Think of your Bilt cash as just kind of a sidebar. Where do I earn the most points? And generally speaking, remember I said in the webinar, this is a rule of thumb. There's going to be a few anomalies in this, but generally speaking, when your spend is greater than your mortgage, you're going to want to choose option 1 and just focus on that points multiplier. When your spend is less than your mortgage, you're going to want to choose option 2, getting the multiplier on your mortgage payment and your cash out of pocket and earning Bilt cash. It truly boils down to your net points per dollar earned. I know that's a little mathy, and I don't want to get into the weeds with the math on it, but just promise me that's just a good rule of thumb to follow for your highest value of points earned. Focus on the points, not on the Bilt cash. I was just chatting with Bilt. I'm glad you were able to chat with them and they didn't have you on hold too long. Thinking of getting the flexible spend instead of the housing only option, since my mortgage is so much less than what I would normally spend each month. Figuring I could carry over Bilt cash each month, use it for housing and accelerator. You have to use all your Bilt cash each month. No saving the extra from housing until you have $200. So what I would say, again, if your spend is much higher than your mortgage, your wisest decision, the most value you're going to get out of your Bilt card is option 1, not option 2, not the Bilt Cash option. With your Bilt Cash, you do not need to use it all every month. It's an annual accrual. So it's not Bilt Cash every month and then it goes away. So it's Bilt Cash built up over time, and then you can use that Bilt Cash to apply towards accelerators or other things like that. But again, going back to the first half of your post, option 1 is probably going to give you more value in Bilt points earned than option 2. What are the best strategies for paying at Costco and earning points if you have Bilt, Palladium, Chase, and Amex? I know Costco gift cards were discussed, but is it okay to buy one with Bilt? So I always give you my Costco questions, Shannon. You're my Costco pro. With Bilt, that says it's a MasterCard, what's the trick for our gift cards there?
Yeah, that's very get the gist of it, right? You can buy Costco gift cards online. I think the question actually may be, is there a limitation, like Amex has a limitation on gift cards, and it can see into an itemization of your receipt. The Bilt card is a credit card, not a charge card. So kind of like Chase cards, they don't see an itemization. And quite honestly, I don't believe that they care unless you're doing thousands and thousands and thousands, but I don't know any concerns with using the Bilt card for that.
Yeah, the only caveat to that is it is technically against their terms and conditions, so don't call them up and ask for help if something goes wrong.
Yeah, that part, like, do it in small, tasteful doses. I feel like I can easily forget a gift card at home, so I load them into my Costco account so I don't lose them, and then I check out with them. So that's what I do.
Super smart. Tried to apply for Bilt Palladium. System recognized me by my Bilt Rewards account and my nickname. Asked Bilt to change to my legal name a week ago. Should I wait for a name change or apply now? Don't want to miss out on 50,000 points by waiting around for name change. I tried text, email, online chat, crickets. Okay, so this isn't super earning multipliers related, but the questions come up a lot, so I'm going to touch on it. I'm also super sensitive to name things because my name is hyphenated and I run into stuff all the time. It makes me nuts. But my recommendation would be to wait for the name change. Otherwise, you're going to potentially then have to change your card to make it all sync up. And we want everything to match so that our Rakuten sync is able to link correctly. Our Bilt Rewards talks to our Bilt credit cards, da-da-da-da-da. We've not heard any rumblings of the 50,000 sign-up bonus going away. So I don't think this is something you need to decide this week, but keep pressuring them. Last tip is I have heard they're pretty responsive on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, that they are replying pretty well to direct messages on there. So maybe try that too. How do you use the accelerator? Is it only available if in option 2? I checked it today. It says I'm locked in option 1 until the end of this statement closing, and I can't find the accelerator tab. So the accelerator is something you buy with Bilt Cash. If you do not have any Bilt Cash, you can't activate the accelerator. It costs $200 to activate. So if you got the Palladium, you've got a $300 Bilt Cash bonus in your account, you can use it for the accelerator. But if you do not have any Bilt Cash, you cannot use the accelerator. The accelerator is giving you an extra 1 point per dollar on everyday spend. That's outside of housing costs. So, you just kind of have to weigh and see, is it worth getting the Bilt Cash to use the accelerator? And again, you need at least $200 in there to activate it. What is the accelerator everybody's talking about? So highly recommend rewatch our village stream from today. We talked about Bilt Cash. The accelerator is an option in your Bilt Cash account. So Bilt Cash, really quickly, don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole tonight, but Bilt Cash is fun. It's ancillary. It's addition. It's not the primary reason we have a built card. Primary reason is that 2x multiplier, but built is like taunting and teasing us with all of this built cash stuff. And realistically, it has very, very little value. The one thing in built cash that you can really generate tangible value from is they give you an option to buy for 200 built cash dollars, an accelerator. The accelerator is an extra 1 point per dollar. So that means your card would be getting you 3 points per dollar on all spend outside of housing costs up to $5,000. And you can apply this accelerator 5 times over the course of the year. So $1,000 in built cash can get you 25,000 extra built reward points. Can you explain the math behind built option 1 and 2 from today's webinar? I'm confused on how to decide on built cash or paying mortgage. Also, can you max out 25,000 of accelerator, then do mortgage? So the math behind it is really taking into, I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible because the math can get very, very complicated because we're looking at tiered systems here. So I'm going to try to simplify it. Shannon or Anthony, scream if I get too in the weeds. So the math is really based on assuming if you were not using a built card, you could not earn any points on your mortgage payment. So taking a 0 point earn for your mortgage or rent, your housing costs, taking that as a 0 points earn and converting it into an ability to earn points, we're then going to generate an effective rate of our points per dollar. So how many dollars we spend and how many points we get in compared to getting 0 points on housing cost. So it's not going to be just 1-to-1 comparing points out to or dollars out to points in. We also have to take into account that if I used my Amex card or something like that, I would get 0 points on housing. So that changes my effective rate. As that effective rate changes, the tiers that I'm earning and how I'm earning built cash also change. So you have to kind of compare the two to one another. What's my housing cost? What's my cost output? And how does that barometer change with my points per dollar earned? Generally speaking, again, rule of thumb is if I'm spending more than my mortgage, my effective rate of points is higher with option 1. If I'm spending less than my mortgage, my effective rate with option 2 is higher. So that's kind of how we get there from a mathematical standpoint. Yes, if you use all of your accelerator up to 25,000 points, you absolutely should consider using your built cash to offset your mortgage. It is certainly a pathway to choose. You may even want to consider like alternating months. Maybe you don't spend $5,000 a month, so you do accelerator, mortgage offset, accelerator, mortgage offset. There's a lot of ways to get there using your built cash based on how much your spend output is. So for everybody whose brain now feels like spaghetti, I'm very sorry. Hopefully we don't get into the math too much more. Okay, I got an email from AA Advantage for 2 times on cruises. Do they ever do more? I would love to beef up my AA Advantage miles as I don't have their credit card, but can see using more and more of the points, I assume. 2X on cruises, I'm not a cruise pro. I don't think I've seen it much higher than that, 2 or 3. Shannon, do you ever use AA cruises?
I don't use AA cruises because you know my stance on that. I don't like travel portals. And you've taught me to earn points at such a rate that I don't need to put myself at risk with a third party. That being said, I am AA loyal and I have seen them for more, quite honestly, but they're really like special promo. You get an email. It's 10 times. And I think one time I saw 20, like once in how many years type of a thing. But I would assume that they're desperate for someone to take them up on their offer on that portal. Again, cruises are something that can get icky sticky because if you don't, give yourself at least a day to get there, right? And then because if there's a delay, if there's this, if there's that, like you went through a travel portal.
Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't realize they went that high. That's pretty cool. But on the same token, if you're booking third party, you could probably get it like there's almost always deals on cruises on Rakuten too, which are going to give you a higher value.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you are ultra committed to AA miles, but again, what I was taught, how I was taught was don't pigeonhole yourself to an airline. Even if you are in a hub, it gives you a little bit more weight on that. But until you have a serious amount, a chunk of flexible points, and when we say a chunk, I mean, Joel says 50,000 per person per household, but I would think we're looking at 400K and up.
Anthony and Emmanuel from Card Pointers and I were talking about this on a live stream not too long ago. Like, how many points are you comfortable? Like, do you need to have as transferable currency before you're comfortable? And I think we were all saying like at least 250,000. And, Anthony's is probably higher because he's a big family, but Emmanuel and I are both households of 2, and, 250,000, 300,000 before I start dipping my toe in anything crazy. I've had Rakuten for a while, earning points the JGoot way with CSP and Amex Plat. My P2 wanted to boost his credit, so the Bilt we put in his name with me as P2. Now we are in a pickle because his email for Bilt and my Rakuten will not match. Well, Chriselle, I have good news for you. He can create his own Rakuten account with his own email and link it to his Bilt account. So this does mean you're going to have 2 separate Rakuten accounts. Yours is going to be an Amex earner. His is going to be a Bilt earner. It's not the most ideal way to go because you're kind of diversifying your points. But if as a household you can focus and say, okay, we're all going to log in P2's Rakuten account and only earn Bilt points, or we're all going to log in P1's Rakuten account and earn Amex points, then that's a way to navigate that instead of switching back and forth in an individual account. My husband is authorized user on my Bilt card. Does he earn 3x with the accelerator? Also, when he tried to set up an auto pay for an account, he couldn't use his card. Can you explain this piece, please? So the accelerator only applies to the primary card holder. It will not apply to authorized users. So kind of a bummer about the accelerator, honestly. I do want to say that kind of brings up something in my head. A lot of this stuff with Bilt is new, and so there's a lot of like trial and error going on. I know this feature here with the authorized user versus primary user, we're just kind of starting to learn about it within the last week or so. I wouldn't be surprised if something like this changes. It doesn't make sense logically for that to be split from the primary user to the authorized user, as long as they're tracking total card spend. But right now, it is only primary, something to be watching and that we're kind of keeping our thumb on. As far as the auto pay for an account, this is, I've heard a few people having issues with this, and it's just a matter of reaching out to Bilt and telling them what's going on. Most of the time, it has to do with your security code, the CVV code. Not syncing. They give you a temporary one and then they give you a permanent one, and making sure that those sync up correctly. So I would reach out to Bilt and see if they can get that squared away for you. Do you still use Simply Miles mentioned in the Earning Multiplier course? Bilt is a MasterCard, so they can be linked, right? I actually use Simply Miles more now that we have Bilt. I'm encouraging people to use it. Bilt doesn't have an integrated card-linked offers system. They have random offers that are very targeted, unlike Amex that has hundreds of offers all the time. So I'm treating Simply Miles as my Bilt offers system. So linking your Bilt MasterCard to Simply Miles and earning that way.
If you do have, however, a branded credit card, you'd get more AA miles, right? Because they're partners.
I don't think through Simply Miles. I know you do through AA hotels, but I'm not sure if they add a multiplier through Simply Miles.
No, I mean if you're using the card, the multiplier on the AA card, if you, because you're using it's not counted as a partner. I don't know. I hardly get my miles from Simply Miles anyway. I'm going to keep going on with that gripe.
I don't think there's a multiplier for the branded card, but I could be wrong. I don't have the branded card. So I have it linked to just a generic MasterCard.
Okay.
I've signed up for Bilt Rewards, but not the card. Connected my new Southwest Airlines Chase, went to Walmart, but how long does it take to see Bilt Rewards? Thinking I should get Southwest points and Bilt Rewards. So I'm confused about the Walmart side of things. Maybe Walgreens that is linked?
Yeah, Walgreens. You don't get, oh my God, could you imagine if people got points by using Walmart? It'd be wild.
I know. Well, I will say I was on Simply Miles this morning and Walmart was on there.
Get out.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Rhonda, can you just clarify if you meant Walgreens, not Walmart? Because if it was Walmart, you're not going to get Bilt Rewards on those. And that's probably why. Oh, Walgreens. Yeah. So I would say usually those Bilt Rewards show up in your account within 3 to 5 days. It's usually a pretty quick turnaround. And then you should get Southwest points through your Southwest card, totally separate. What is the best multiplier program for gas? I heard you mention something about Shell and American, but I don't generally fly American and don't want my points just stuck there. Round of applause for Kimberly. Anything else? So I think the best multiplier for gas is your best catch-all card. You can play a little bit, buy gift cards and do all that, but we talked earlier about how muddy gift cards get. I would just use your Bilt Palladium or your Chase Freedom Unlimited. You've got this card. It's got a built-in multiplier. Let's not overcomplicate it and use that as your gas card. Should we link all our other credit cards to Bilt? Yes, all of your credit cards should be linked to Bilt. You can use them through Bilt Neighborhood, multiplier earn that way.
But if you're going to use Bilt Dining, not all of them, right? Because if you're also trying to collect on Rakuten for MRs, if you're not collecting Bilt points and stuff like that, because they will cancel each other out. Just always remember that with the dining portals.
Yeah, I would say generally, if you're looking to earn Bilt points and you have Rakuten, don't use Bilt Dining because Bilt Dining's 3x, Rakuten Dining's 5x, and you can then take that 5x and transfer them to Bilt. So it's like an automatic 2 times multiplier, except for on the first of the month, then use Bilt Dining just to make things complicated.
Because today was just so simple so far.
Where's the best dining portal, Rakuten or Bilt? All right. So we talked about
Depends on which day.
Yeah, depends on the day of the month, literally. No, I would say generally speaking, Rakuten is better. It's 5 points per dollar. So, and because you can earn Bilt points, if you're sticking with earning Bilt rewards, that's 5 points per dollar Bilt rewards. If you want Amex points, it's 5 points per dollar membership rewards. Either way, 5 points per dollar. Is it beneficial to hook up cards like Amex Gold to Bilt rewards as well? What is the benefit? So it is, but your Amex Gold, like we were just talking, is your dining card. That's 4 points per dollar on everything. That card should be linked to your best dining portal, which is likely Rakuten. So keep that card linked to Rakuten and you can link your other cards to Bilt Neighborhood. So there's lots of ways to earn through Bilt Neighborhood. There's Lyft rides and parking and Walgreens and all kinds of different things. So having your other cards in there allows you to earn with those cards with great built-in multipliers already and earn built points on those purchases.
Yeah, my built points go through the roof because I have a Chase Sapphire Reserve. So I get extra, so it's always on there, and it's in also registered with built, right? So I don't have the palladium yet. I'm waiting for the dust to settle from the nuclear fallout that was built out. But because built does give extra points for Walgreens, that's where my Chase Freedom Unlimited is in there. So I can double dip on those, right? So and for those of you that do have branded credit cards, I presume because you are going for a status or you're living in a hub or something like that, then that's why you would put those other cards in there, but leave the gold to Rakuten again.
Or if you don't have an Amex, whatever your dining card is, that should be linked to the best dining portal. So best way to earn on Amazon. The best way to earn on Amazon is to stop shopping at Amazon. I'm just teasing. I mean, that's part of the best way to earn, but there are ways that Amazon will help you. Sorry, I mean, you didn't leave the screen. Oh, boo.
Lucas made me do it. He needed something for baseball.
No, there are actually ways to earn through Amazon. It's not going to be as lucrative if you use some of the other portals. But something I think is very, very cool is Rakuten has this thing. It's called Price Magic. And if you download the Rakuten extension and then you search on Amazon, you're going to get a little purple circle from Rakuten that's like, hey, you can buy this exact same product somewhere else through Rakuten. It's going to cost you less money and it's going to earn you points. And it'll show up every time there's that comparison. So it's like pulling you away and reminding you.
Genius.
It's so genius. Yeah, I love it because we all have our habits, right? And it's like Rakuten is helping us break that. The other two ways is similar to gas. Use your catch-all card. You've got your built-in multiplier. Just use that. And two, check your offers. Amazon does come up on our offers sometimes for 5 points per dollar. So keep an eye on your offers. Make sure if you are using Amazon, you're at least using a card that has more than 1 point per dollar. At least doing that, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, and Simply Miles. Sometimes they're on Simply Miles. That's fun when that happens. And yeah, I take calls all the time, people inquiring about the lounge, and they ask this question all the time. Am I going to have to give up fill in the blank? Costco, Amazon are the ones that I hear the most, and you don't, right? You just have to be a bit more strategic. And that starts with knowing all of your options and then choose the option that works best for you personally for your strategy.
Right. The other thing I didn't mention, and I want to because we talked of it earlier, is gift cards. I said some of the risks with Visa, MasterCard gift cards, but when you're buying branded gift cards like an Amazon gift card, it does lower that risk. If you buy an Amazon gift card, you can use it at Amazon. So buying those gift cards, refilling your Amazon account with the gift cards is also an option using a Chase Inc. Cash. My linked cards are not earning Built reward points. 2 Walgreens usage on 2 cards. Contacted Built chat support. Never got a live person. Frustrating. Any advice on why I'm not earning or support? I would double check and make sure those cards aren't linked elsewhere that may be superseding your Built account. The best way to do this without having to go back in history of where all of your cards might be is just disconnect them completely from Built and then re-add them in. That's going to be like closing a door and then walking back in. And that should spark them to be the primary, Built as the default on those cards in the event they're linked elsewhere. So I would try that first. If it's still not working, keep bothering Built. I know it's frustrating to not get quick responses, but that's going to be part of the game for a little bit, is just being that squeaky wheel and being patient with the responses. It's only been like a month since these cards have been out. So not seeing our points in less than 30 days. We wait 120 for Rakuten. So, just being a little bit patient with the system.
I know, right? If you put this into perspective, you're not waiting for quarterly payouts. But I will be honest, actually, my Walgreens points, because it's the closest drugstore to me, they show up within a day or two. The only thing is they seem to kind of like CVS on Rakuten. They know if you're buying gift cards, so don't expect those. So if all you did was go in there and buy gift cards, that could be the reason. And you're just going to have to be okay with it, right? So even when I throw in, I don't know, hair ties or some chips or something like that, they'll initially show, but most of the time they get kind of clawed back. I'm like, boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and CVS kind of suck, but
give us our loopholes.
I know. I demand the loopholes.
Does SaveWise replace Cashback Monitor at all? I have lifetime access there and don't really want an extra thing to check. How do they compare? So I don't use Cashback Monitor at all anymore. I strictly use SaveWise. Everything SaveWise does covers Cashback Monitor. I don't see any reason to use Cashback Monitor. It does everything and more. So for me, I strictly use SaveWise. In fact, today I was working through some curriculum things for JGoot and thinking about getting rid of Cashback Monitor in my curriculum completely. I think even the free version of SaveWise does everything that I would want from Cashback Monitor. So that's my recommendation. I think it's just a much more robust service and you get a lot more out of it.
Agreed.
Can I add my mom's credit card to my Built account to earn points from her spend? That's a great question. I actually don't know the answer. Do you know? Can you add somebody else's credit card to your Built account?
I mean, I may or may not have everyone whose credit card I know in my dining portal. So,
well, I do it in my dining, but I don't know for Built.
100%. I don't think that there's a name match, honestly, because all they ask you is for your card number, if I remember correctly. And I don't believe they cross-reference. I think it's just card number, kind of like the dining portals.
Awesome. Yeah, give it a try, Stephanie. I think it'll work. I know it works for like Rakuten in-store. I always like tell people if your part of your job is to buy things for your boss, put your boss's card in your Rakuten in-store. So I would try it with your Built account. Is Chase Dining still a thing? I couldn't find it in my portal and the link given in the lesson doesn't work. Did something replace it? Chase Dining is not still a thing. When they upgraded, let me change that sentence. When they upgraded the Chase Sapphire Reserve, they got rid of Chase Dining and reservations. Instead, they have, I think it's called Elite Tables or Chase Tables.
Exclusive, Sapphire exclusive dining benefits.
Exclusive tables, that's what it is.
I wonder who's using their benefits because she's got a 14-year-old trying to eat her out of house and home.
So it's a lot more restrictive, the exclusive tables. So it's not a typical dining portal at all. It's, basically a reservation service at this point. If I keep gold status on Built Palladium, can I still transfer from Rakuten 1-to-1 ratio after May? Yep, as long as you're silver or above. So just not blue, and you'll be good at 1-to-1 after May 15th. Question about card pointers. I do not know how to maximize its use. I added my Chase Sapphire card. I don't know what else to do or add to maximize usage. So if you only have one card, card pointers is probably going to be slightly limited in its use for you. However, a Chase Sapphire card has lots of benefits and things that you might not know. And card pointers is going to be able to give you all of that information. So not only is it going to be able to tell you like what card to use where, it's going to give you a heads up while you're shopping. It has like location services that are very, very cool. Tell you, hey, I see you're at a certain store, use your Chase Sapphire here. It'll also list all of your card benefits. You can track how you're progressing through your benefits. Really gives you a ton of information. I find it best utilized if you have more than one card in your wallet, though, and you can use it as a comparison tool. Which card should I use in this unique situation?
And card pointers can do a lot of things. I mean, I love me some SaveWise, but card pointers will allow you to. I prefer SaveWise actually for activating my offers these days, but it allows you to control the value that you assign your points dependent on as your skills grow, right? So it's highly customizable and it'll give you direction of I think one of my best finds was when I did the Royal Caribbean cruise with Julie, and I just searched on cruise, right? So it brought up all the known offers for cruises, and then I did go and find on my Amex account that I had that offer targeted. So it'd be something as simple as wine, plus, like Kira said, the geographic, but it does so many things because Emmanuel is an evil computer genius, and that's just the way his brain works. It like does all these crazy things. So they have a really robust library of support videos at the Card Pointer site. I highly recommend that you play around in there. You can search for them. And if you have any, gee, I can't find this particular video, maybe I'm searching it wrong, the support at cardpointers.com. I mean, just email. They are great in getting back to you quickly.
Yep. That is very true. I've said many times, broken record, of everyone I've ever worked with in my whole professional life, Emmanuel is the best responder. He responds fast and diligently. He's amazing. Is the highest earning for Southwest Airlines Chase a hotel stay? Any other suggestions for high earnings on Southwest card? Probably their hotel portal, similar to American Airlines, finding that high multipliers through their hotel portal. I don't love the Southwest card as a branded card. I would pursue maybe the Companion Pass course that we offer here and taking a look at some of the tips and tricks of getting to your Companion Pass. But yeah, probably their hotel's their biggest multiplier there.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but it's a bit more limited is what I have found for American Airlines. Like, unlike American Airlines, if you've got the card, they will give you that multiplier card or status or card and status, whereas Southwest will list all of the hotels that they will partner with, but then only like the top 5 have an accelerator, a multiplier. They'll list the other hotels, but you don't get any more points. You just get Southwest miles, not a 5-time, not a 3-time, and things like that.
Right, which AA definitely gives you that ad. I'm hearing that if spend is greater than mortgage, use tiered versus cash. And in the previous session, I heard built cash pays for the fee. How does this work if tiered option is chosen and assume no built cash? So the way the tiered option works is the points that you earn on your housing spend are based on how much your everyday spend is. So essentially your everyday spend is offsetting your housing fee. So bill cash gets completely taken out of it and you earn in a tiered manner. If your everyday spend is a certain percentage of your housing spend, you earn X percentage of points all the way up as your spend increases. So as your spend increases above your mortgage, you're earning your max multiplier on points, and that's how the value comes in. So you don't need the cash to offset the mortgage fee in tier 1 because you're paying the mortgage fee by losing out on points earned. I have purchases from December that say pending, show an amount, and they expect to pay May 15th. Is this okay that it's taking 5 months, or is something wrong? Totally okay, totally normal. So we give This is Rakuten, by the way. Doesn't say that, but I can tell from the context they're talking Rakuten. So we get 4 Rakuten transfers a year: February, May, August, November. So because your December purchases weren't ready to clear your account by February 15th, the next possible day you can get those points is May. So yeah, end of December is kind of a bummer because you have to wait until May and those points didn't clear. But it's super, super common because at the holidays, we have an extended return period. Things happen. If I showed you my Rakuten account, I've got a bunch of them too. Very, very common. Nothing's wrong. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, when mine paid out, it actually caught almost all of them.
Even
right?
through
I was
December? That's great.
Yeah. I was super surprised. I have very few that are still pending. I feel like I did some in December, but they went through. But of course I was shopping on Black Friday, so technically that's still November.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a lot of very end of the year shopping this year, like between Christmas and New Year's. And those, I think they're confirmed now, but they were pending at the transfer date.
Not another grill emergency, I hope.
No grill emergency.
Thank God.
I own a couple of properties with HOA. Can I use Built for each of these different HOAs? Do I need to set different homes for each? You do need to set them up differently, but you can pay separate HOAs.
Yeah, it's unlimited mortgages and HOAs. So kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very, actually not kind of, very cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Especially like if you've got a kid or you've got multiple rental homes, things like that. Lots of options. Do we get the 50,000 points in Built Palladium as soon as the 5K is spent, like month 1, or do they make you wait the whole 3 months? So as soon as you reach your spend and the statement closes. Some people got it posted into their account as soon as they reached the spend, but technically the terms and conditions say when the statement closes. So if you don't get it, don't worry. Just wait till your statement closes and then it should post. Can you stop and start the accelerator once a month? Once you turn it on, you've got to reach that 5,000. So you can't be like, I'm going to turn this on for a $1,000 spend and then turn it off and then turn it back on. So once you turn it on, you're stuck with, I don't know, that sounds negative, stuck with 3 points per dollar. But once you turn it on, you're going to get 3 points per dollar up to 5,000.
You're committed to it.
There we go. Good.
Fully committed, not letting you back out.
Love that. Love it. If I spend $10,000 in 1 month, could I purchase 2 accelerators in 1 month? You sure can, as long as you've got the Built cash available. So once you reach that spend, it will give you the option to turn it on again, and you turn it on again. We've talked to folks that have had large payments due that total, I'll just say 25,000 for ease of math, and they do 5 partial payments. Make a payment, wait till it clears, turn on the next accelerator, make a payment, wait till it clears, do it 5 times, and use up all their accelerators. Because your Built cash that you earn from your spend is posting as you spend, so you don't have to wait for it to show up. Could you use Built to pay a car note or just home costs? Technically just home costs. People have tried to pay things that aren't housing costs, and Built has flagged them. People have had success in trying it and snuck it through, but technically it's just supposed to be for housing costs. So you may be able to, like I said, sneak something through. You can try it. They're not going to shut you down for trying it, but technically it's just housing costs. I could pay my HOA in full for the year in January, switch to option 2 for the rest of the year. Sure. If that works, if maybe your Palladium sign-up bonus is going to cover your HOA fees and that's how you want to run it, you absolutely could do that. to reiterate on that, you can switch back and forth option 1, option 2, how on a monthly basis. So
yeah, statement to statement, right?
Yep. Is there a way to be sure I'm earning my Rakuten points while I'm ordering? There have been several instances where I thought I was getting them, but I didn't, and I'm not sure why. There is. It's this really cool thing. I think there's an example on how to do it in the curriculum, but I recommend everyone, when you download the Rakuten extension, you pin it to the toolbar of your browser. You're going to get a little pin up at the top of your browser. It's going to change colors when Rakuten is activated. You can even click on that pin. It'll tell you it's activated. It'll give you your shopping trip number. It'll tell you how many points per dollar you're earning, let you know of any exclusions that are involved, any coupons that you can apply. The pin is a lifesaver. It's the peace of mind. It's everything we need to feel good that we're going to be earning those points.
God bless Lucas, and Under Armour was 10 times yesterday.
Nice.
I know.
I opened up a Built account but didn't apply for a card. With that said, I won't get yet grocery points, correct? Only dining, Walgreens, and Lyft. Well, there's a handful of other things besides dining, Walgreens, and Lyft, but correct, you won't get grocery points until you have the Built card. Built doesn't have a Built neighborhood for groceries. I have Built Palladium, have been using for my everyday. If I add my CSP to my Built account, will I get stacked points on both Chase and Built? So if you add your CSP to your Built account, you need to pay with your CSP in order for those points to stack with Built. So you'd only use it in places where it makes sense to use your CSP card over your Built card. But yes, that is how you can stack them. I have paid down payment on a cruise through Chase Travel at 8X. I've been waiting for a card offer or something else for cruises, but nothing has come through offers. Do you see cruises there? Yeah, I see cruises come up every so often. Shannon, I know we've talked about this before, but I think my recollection is what you've indicated is it's typically like more of the smaller cruise lines that show up in the offers, not so often the bigger ones, but I'll let you extrapolate on it.
Yeah, it did. But generally speaking, where you're going to get the multiplier is your down payment, right? Because you've got a reservation open. So it's not every time necessarily you make the payment, right? So it's like some of those others, like it's only on new orders. It's only on new accounts. Right? So because you can't start another shopping trip with that multiplier. You're not starting another shopping trip. You are actually going into your account and making the next payment. So I wouldn't be so hung up on that one. You're using the travel portal, which has its own, multiplier in and of itself. So I wouldn't expect to be able to, I don't know, double dip on Rakuten for that, right?
Do you know if the Chase card ever has offers on the card linked offers that she could add on top of it?
I don't believe I've ever seen any on Chase, and I have the reserve, right? So yeah, I do. Well, back when it had the travel category until it got upgraded. I didn't see any back then, and that's probably why I'm not paying much attention to it anymore, right? I use my CSR for hotels for sure, and yeah, hotels these days. Thank God I racked up my ultimate reward points when I had a lot more opportunity to, but yeah, they're mostly coming from like DoorDash and stuff like that, and I just stay away from portals. But the idea and premise is the same, right? Let's say if Chase Travel was on the portal, you're dealing with a third party, right? So you're not going to get the Royal Caribbean multiplier, book it through the Chase portal. Do you see what I'm saying, Kira? It's like now you're stacking portals because Chase is a portal in and of itself.
Yep.
So I love the way you're thinking, but it just, with cruises and stuff that you've made a down payment for, it's already tracking a reservation, and you are also hoping to stack it with a portal. Again, the card offers, I actually believe it codes to Chase Travel, not Royal. Theoretically. You know, like when you use the edit collection credit.
You
or,
mean like when she books through Chase Travel, how will it code on her card?
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll code as whatever the booking agency is. So
Right.
Yeah.
That's my point.
yeah. Before I switched my Amex to Built in Rakuten, I had about 2,000 points pending. Now I have 58. Did I just lose 2,000 points by switching? Nope. I'm guessing those points transferred. We just passed a transfer date. So I would go into your Rakuten account, look at your points activity, and see where it moved to. I'm guessing they're probably in your Amex account, but check your points activity.
Or if you switched it to Built, that 2,000 would now look like $20 cash back. So then she actually added $38 that looks like cash back, but it will transfer as points. That's the other theoretical answer, right?
Yeah. So if it says $58, then potentially you actually have 5,800 Built rewards points.
Yeah.
For Lyft, Chase, I think, gives me 5 times the points while Built gives less points. Or can I add Built to Lyft too and then get double the points? So you can add your Chase card to your Built account, and then you can get the 5 points per dollar from Chase plus the multiplier from Built. So that's where you linking your cards to Built gives you that stackability. Is there a max dollar amount you can earn double in rent day? There is 500, so 1,000 points. Are you sure Simply Miles is still participating with AA? Because I think they stopped doing it. I am 110% sure. I did it this morning.
Might not feel like it. Not me being bitter. No, but yeah, no, I tease. It absolutely is.
Yeah. I thought the Built app let you get points on all purchases with your enrolled cards. Is it just with the neighborhood stores? It's just, I mean, you're still getting points on your cards, but you're not getting Built points on everything. If you enroll your card in the Built app and shop anywhere, Built's not just going to give you points because your card is in your Built wallet. So it needs to be at stores in the Built ecosystem. So Built kind of works under their own umbrella. If you use your cards that are linked in the Built ecosystem, you get the double dip there. Am I correct that adding my other cards to the Built wallet only gets me points for the Built dining program if I were to use one of those cards to pay my restaurant bill, or is there more to it? Nope, that's it. You add a card, you pay with the card, you get points on your Built account and points through the card. Do you need a Built credit card or just a rewards card to pay rent? And are there more than one credit card type? So you do need a Built card to pay rent with Built. So in order to take advantage of that, there are 3 Built cards, Palladium, Obsidian, and
Blue.
Blue. Thank you. I'm like going, what is the fancy stone that the third one is? Built Blue. So there are 3 different types of cards. We highly recommend for the vast majority of people, the Palladium card is going to be the best one for you. This is subtle. You just said Built Accelerator doesn't apply to P2 card. Does P2 spend count towards total non-housing spend for option 1 percentages? Yes, it does. So the total spend on the card, whether you've got an authorized user or not, is going to count towards your spend percentage, but your accelerator will not be applied towards P2. Great question, Susan. I like the nuance there. Between Chase Sapphire and Amex Gold, which is the best one to book hotels and excursions? I use Chase to pay for Verbo, and I get 8x by going through Rakuten Amex. So you can use Chase and Rakuten. So if you are using Rakuten and getting 8x, which I'm assuming is like through Verbo or Viator or Airbnb or whatever the multiplier is, and then you pay with your Chase card, you're going to get your Chase multiplier and your Rakuten multiplier. But it depends on which Chase Sapphire card you have as to which one you'd want to use. But you can definitely pay with Chase and use Rakuten. Do I get points for my linked cards and Built? So if you use a linked card at a Built store, restaurant, etc., so anything in that Built ecosystem, and you pay with a card that you've linked to your Built wallet, your cards are going to earn points and you'll earn Built points. Do you have a strategy for rent day? All spend to Built. That's my rent day strategy. No. Realistically, though, try to put as much spend as you can to rent day. So that might be in moving utility payments, being strategic about upcoming expenses that you have. I mean, $500 is a big spend, but it's not an insurmountable spend. So just trying to shift some things around, making sure they occur on the first of the month, or trying to make sure they occur on the first of the month to get that duplicate multiplier. If I look at Built and Rakuten, you talk about preference for dining, but can you link a card just for dining? Would you not lose Lyft, Walgreens, etc. on Built to get dining on Rakuten? So it would depend on the card. Like I'm probably not paying for Lyft, Walgreens, etc. with my Amex Gold card, but I am definitely paying for dining with my Amex Gold card. So I'm going to link my Amex Gold to Rakuten for dining, and then use my Chase card or my Capital One card or my Built card for the other stores that are giving me a higher multiplier on that card. My Amex Gold card, I call it a food card. Like its best multiplier is really for food. So link that for your dining and then link everything else for the other expenditures. Or you can also bounce back and forth. Link it to Rakuten, link it to Built, move it around as you're comfortable. Can you link more than one card to Rakuten? I've Built linked, but wondered about Amex as well. So for Rakuten, you don't have to really link cards. The only thing you're linking cards for is in-store shopping. When you are connecting your Amex account to Rakuten, you can connect one Amex account and you can connect one Built account. So then you can choose whether you want to earn Amex points, membership reward points, or Built reward points. But you don't need to worry about linking multiple cards. It's just one Amex account that's going to earn you multiple membership reward points, and one Built account, Built rewards account, that you can earn Built rewards through. But multiple cards only will apply for in-store shopping on Rakuten. How do I use Rakuten Dining on my Android? Do I need to make a reservation or just share screen at the restaurant? So Rakuten Dining is going to be available through your app. So you're going to want to download the Rakuten app on your Android phone. And then there's going to be an option for in-store down at the bottom of the app. When you tap on in-store, that will give you a list of restaurants and merchants that you can shop at in person, shop or dine. You need to just add those to your Rakuten account. So let's say Applebee's is on there. You go to in-store, you see Applebee's as a Rakuten Dining, you click add to account, it's going to add it to the account. Once it's added to your account, you just need to pay at the restaurant with any of the cards that you've linked to Rakuten, and you'll earn those points. So you don't need to show them your Rakuten account at the restaurant. In fact, they won't know what you're talking about if you show that to them. So nothing else you have to do. You just activate that restaurant in the app and pay with any linked card. So use Built Cash for first accelerator and then housing points unlock. Not sure I'm following this. So I would use your accelerator up before considering using Built Cash for housing. But again, it's going to be variable person to person. That's just my most efficient use of point cash. The most valuable use of point cash is using up your accelerator. Can you repeat the dining with Bilt, Rakuten, and Amex? If you use Amex to pay for dining and it's linked to Rakuten, you get 5x points, but they transfer as Bilt points to Bilt. What's the proper setup? So proper is a big word to use here. We all are going to be different on how we want to earn our Rakuten points. Do we want them to be paid out as Bilt, or do we want them to be paid out as membership rewards? It's going to depend on you as a traveler, as an earner. General rule of thumb, keeps your points balances about even. So if you have used up a lot of Amex points, maybe you want to earn more Amex points. If you used up a lot of Bilt points, maybe you want to earn more Bilt points. Potato, potato, we're all a little bit different here. The thing we need to keep in mind with dining is Rakuten dining, our in-store for Rakuten, always gives us 5 points per dollar. Bilt dining gives us 3 points per dollar. So Rakuten dining inherently is more valuable than Bilt dining, 5x compared to 3x. Because we can set up our Rakuten account to transfer for Bilt to Bilt, you can earn 5x on Rakuten and then choose to have all of that earned go to your Bilt account. So it's always going to be more valuable than Bilt because Rakuten can be a direct Bilt earner. Used my CSP at Walgreens 10 days ago, not seeing points in Bilt account. What am I doing wrong? Again, I would just make sure that it's properly linked. You can unlink it, relink it, make sure that's right. Otherwise, you can, I would recommend sending a message to Bilt, letting them know that the points are posted, assuming you've done that. And like Shannon said before, you need to make sure you're not buying anything against the terms and conditions, like a gift card. That may be zeroing out your Walgreens purchase.
They get me every time.
Will Safewise auto add Rakuten dining restaurants? No, and they really don't have to, because when you go in your app, go down to in-store, go to dining, if you add one restaurant, it will auto add all of them. So you just need to add one and it will add every restaurant for you nationally. You don't need to use a program to do it for you. Is there an advantage to transferring my dining to Bilt versus Rakuten if Rakuten will still be one-to-one transfer to Bilt? So Rakuten's going to earn you 5 points per dollar on dining. Bilt's going to earn you 3 points per dollar on dining. So it's likely wiser to earn your dining points through Rakuten and then transfer those points to Bilt on a quarterly basis, especially if you're retaining the one-to-one transfer. If you are not retaining that transfer, then it's probably wisest to stick with Bilt. If you use the AA dining portal, will it prevent your AA miles from expiring? Yes, it sure will. Anytime you add points to your, add miles to your AA account, it will prevent any existing miles from expiring. So yeah, that dining portal is a big help with that. From listening to one of the Monday live streams, I thought the Bilt app let you get points on all purchases with your enrolled cards. I know that the extra points are just with Walgreens, Lyft, etc. I'm pretty sure, and now you all have me second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure that you only get extra points in the Bilt ecosystem. It is not on everyday spend. There's not just a built-in multiplier for linking your cards to Bilt rewards. It's in when you make purchases at Bilt ecosystem, restaurants, stores, hotels, etc., you'll get that multiplier on top of the multiplier in your card.
Yeah. So mine are all neighborhood businesses, right? Walgreens, Lyft, Rakuten, and I definitely have other cards linked in there. And I'm not getting, the points from those spends. It's not the same as buying something on Rakuten and using your Chase card.
Right. I mean, that would be a killer deal. If you just linked a card to your Built Rewards app and Built gave you an extra point on everything, that would be a really big multiplier that I would be going nutso for.
Oh my God, you would get status so fast.
Exactly. And Built would go out of business.
Well, we don't want that.
No, we definitely don't. If my cards are in Rakuten, I thought I can get points and then also Built points. Isn't that correct? Not sure.
Well, not membership reward points. You can't have membership reward points and Built points. It's a choice between the two, but you can earn Chase points, right? And again, you have to choose membership reward points or Built points. That's the only way. You don't get to double dip on membership reward and Built. It's a choice, if that's the question, hopefully.
But Rakuten's card agnostic on how you spend. So you can earn Built or membership reward points as your Rakuten payout, but the card you pay with can be any card. So if you want it to be your Built card or your Chase card or your Amex card, it doesn't matter. If your Amex is linked to Rakuten Dining Portal, will your dining activity show up in the Rakuten app? If it's not, does that mean my card got unlinked? Yes, it will show up. It typically takes a couple more days than your shopping portal purchases take. But yes, it will show up in your points activity. And if it's not showing up, it means something isn't tracking. So maybe it got unlinked. Maybe the restaurant didn't report it. I'd file a missing claim with Rakuten first and see what they tell you. Otherwise, go through that same step I mentioned with Built, unlink your card, and then relink it. Delete your card, relink it, and then that will make sure that Rakuten is your top portal selection. Last link wins is what I always tell people. So the last one that you link is the portal that's going to take precedent.
The last link standing.
Exactly. I was reading, this is going to show my nerdiness. I was reading about portals and like trying to figure out ways to articulate like last link wins. So I started reading about teleporting and thinking about going through portals, like teleporting through portals, and how you can't go through multiple teleports at once because that would be a big mess. So think of it as like if you're going through a teleport, when you leave one teleport, you're going through the next one.
Yeah. I always describe it as like, do you want behind what's door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3?
You don't get them
You know
all.
what I'm saying? Like yeah, they're next to each other. You can't walk through all of them at the same time.
Yep. Can you give us the email to use for Rakuten points that have not been confirmed? I have a Macy's in-store purchase for December and I can't locate it on my pages of notes. So missing points, I always recommend start with filing a missing points claim, which is going to be under the help button on Rakuten.com. Start there, open a ticket. And that will also generate an email with them that you can email back and forth from. The general support email for Rakuten is social help, social, SOCIAL, help at Rakuten.com. But if you email them about missing points, they're going to tell you to file a missing points claim. So always start there and then you can go to the email. Are you saying you need to spend daily living expenses on a Built card to then be able to pay rent and get points? Exactly right. So if you do not spend on your Built card above and beyond your housing expense, if you strictly use Built for housing, you're not going to be earning points on that Built card. So you need to have ancillary expenses outside of your housing expenses. And frankly, how we recommend using the Built card is your housing expense should be secondary. the true value of the Built Palladium card is that it's 2 points per dollar on everything. It's an amazing catch-all card. You should be using it when you buy shoes, when you buy anything that doesn't have a multiplier. All of these catch-all purchases can go on your Built card for 2 points per dollar, which is huge. Anthony, she thinks she's good. Why are you showing us this? I'm just teasing. Stick with Rakuten at 5x, I think. But if desperately need AA or other points, switch for a minute. Is there a way to see the 22,000 restaurants covered with Rakuten? So the best way to see your restaurants, I think, we all are a little bit different on how the best for this sort of stuff. We all kind of have different ways that our brains process. But I like to open up my app, go down to in-store, click on dining, and instead of looking at it as a list, because the list is like infinite and overwhelming, I put it on map view. And then I'll like click on the buttons based on where I am and kind of say like, okay, well, you know, here in Tucson, I've got these options and I can see what's around me. But if I'm traveling to Dallas, here's what the options are around my hotel. And I can kind of look at all of those different things. Map view is easier for me rather than trying to digest 22,000 restaurants at once. Can you pay a HELOC as a mortgage? I have seen someone try it and get booted, and I've seen somebody have success with it. So this is similar to the car loan thing, is give it a try, see if it accepts you. It's probably going to have a strong dependence on who your processor is for your HELOC and whether or not Built flags them or not. So it's going to be, your mileage may vary. Can you explain how the first of the month accelerator works with Built? So I think
Rent day?
Yeah, I think they're conflating a couple things here. First of the month is what Shannon said, rent day, where they're going to double your points earn up to $500 spent, so an extra 1,000 points. The accelerator is something that you can buy with Built Cash that's going to give you an extra 1 point per dollar multiplier on everything you buy up to $5,000, regardless of the day of the month. Can you accelerate right away after receiving the card, or do you have to wait until the first statement or the first of the month? You can accelerate right away. As soon as the option comes available. I don't know, you don't have the Palladium yet, right, Shannon?
No, but I did learn in the chat today that they needed the physical card.
That's exactly what I was. A lot of people have said there's a little bit of lag until your card is in hand. You can't use it with the digital one for sure. And even with the tangible card, there's been a bit of a lag on it.
Yeah, but I've not seen, and Mira was on the live stream today. She did not say that you have to wait for the first statement or the first of the month, just when it's an option in your Built Cash portion of your account when you log in, and it's scroll all the way down on the right is what I remember seeing today.
Yeah. And I know 100% you do not need to wait till your statement. Statements are just now being released, and there are folks that have already used up multiple accelerators. So
yeah, I mean, someone in the lounge is on their third.
yeah, super common. On Rakuten, I click on a vendor, but can I click on discount offers listed on the same page as the terms and conditions when they are in Rakuten Purple, or would that negate the cash back? Any coupon code given to you by Rakuten, so the little purple one that you see that Rakuten offers as a pop-up, will not negate the cash back, and you can use it in addition to your earn. So Rakuten provided coupon codes are stackable, and I highly encourage you to use them. For clarity, sorry, I skipped some words there in my brain. For clarity, as long as my cards are attached to Rakuten, I will get the multiplier no matter which card I use. But the point TF?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. The point can only go.
The point can only go to
Transfer, Anthony is saying?
Yeah, probably transfer. Yeah. But the point transfer can only go to one account. Same for dining. So as long as a card is linked to Rakuten, you'll get the multiplier no matter what card you use. It doesn't matter if that card is linked to Rakuten or not. The points transfer can only go to one membership reward account. Your Rakuten account is going to be linked to a single membership reward account or a single built account. All the points you earn on that Rakuten account, whether it's for online shopping, in-person dining, all those points pool together and will transfer to the linked account, whether it's membership rewards or built rewards. I paid my down payment on a celebrity cruise through Rakuten. Can I also pay for celebrity excursions through Rakuten? So I believe, again, I'm going to need your help on this, Shannon, but once you set up a cruise and you're buying your excursions, that's within your existing reservation. And so this would not be treated as a new purchase. It'd be considered part of your existing reservation. So I don't think you could get the multiplier.
Yeah, no, you can't, because you've already created that itinerary, right? It's not going to track it as a new purchase because you've already initiated. You walk through the door one time and there's no takesy backsies on the doors or the portals. So you walk through and that's it. Now, if you had booked your excursions at the same time you made the down payment, that would have all gone on one payment. And then, yeah, you would have gotten the 8-time, 10-time, whatever it was. But definitely didn't work that way for the cruises that I've been on.
Do Walmart and Sam's Club's purchases count as grocery on Built? Nope, those are both wholesale. Just added my Built card to Simply Miles, but it told me right away that this removes me from Built Restaurants earning. So is Simply Miles still better if I tie a Built card to it versus earning with Built? So Simply Miles is an offers portal. So just like anything, it doesn't stack with multiples. I think it just depends on how you're earning through your Built card. So my Built card I have linked to Simply Miles because I don't care so much about Built dining. I use my Amex Gold for my dining. I link my dining to Rakuten. I also don't use a lot of the other Built neighborhood things. If I were going to, I'd be doing it intentionally. And so I would probably swap my Built card out and then re-add it to my Built account. Example for Walgreens, I'd be thinking more like a Chase card to use there to get the multiplier through the card plus Built. So for me, having my Built card linked to Simply Miles doesn't omit much of my earning potential. I checked Rakuten for a purchase I made at Sonos, clicked through Sonos from Rakuten. Purchase shows as ineligible. I bought on Sonos, but picked up at Best Buy. Is that why it's not giving my points? Terms and conditions say not available on orders placed through dealer portal. The order was placed on Sonos, not a dealer. Assuming that your receipt is from Sonos and you've got an email that shows that your receipt is from Sonos, I would just file a missing points claim. Most of the time, the ineligible stuff is just a miscommunication, I think is the best way to put it. You file a missing points claim on those and they should clean it up for you. Just send them your Sonos confirmation. Is there a way to, sorry, I was skipping the first few sentences. That's why I was silent. Is there a way to find out what stores, if there are any besides Walgreens that are in the Built system? Sure, what I recommend doing, go to your Built Rewards app and look through Built Neighborhood. There aren't a ton of stores in there. Walgreens is going to be your biggest merchant. There's a handful of others. Sometimes you get targeted. I saw Amazon was targeted in there recently. So just navigate through your Built Neighborhood app on your Built Neighborhood function on your Built Rewards app. Regarding Built and Rakuten dining, How about the 5X on certain restaurants that I see on Built if you use Built Palladium? Do you still keep your Built Palladium tied to Rakuten Dining? So for the 5X on certain restaurants that I see on Built Palladium, if you use Built Palladium, I would probably not link my Built Palladium to Rakuten and just use it at those restaurants. If those restaurants are also on Rakuten Dining, you could link it that way. I'm struggling to see the overlap here, and maybe my brain isn't reading it correctly.
If you use the Built, okay, regarding Built Dining, how about the 5X on certain restaurants that I see on Built? If you use the Built Palladium, do you still keep your Built Palladium tied to Rakuten Dining? Well, but it's only certain restaurants, right? If they are certain restaurants that might have the 5X, for the sake of easy, Rakuten Dining is always 5X. I think that's why Kira recommended that.
Right. And so if the Built Palladium 5X restaurants are not on Rakuten, then it doesn't matter. You can still use your Built Palladium and get the 5X there. If they are on Rakuten, you could tie your Built Palladium to Rakuten and get the 5X through Rakuten plus the 2X through the card. So I would think that if you've got that double dip opportunity, if I'm understanding the question correctly. Does Rent Day work for people with just the app? Rent Day is only for card holders. So you definitely have to have the credit card in order to take advantage of Rent Day. This may be missing a part 1. You have to activate restaurants on, oh, okay, I see. You have to activate restaurants on Rakuten. I thought they were automatic to earn 5X once you use a linked card. That's how I've gotten rewards in the past and didn't expect it. So you do have to activate it, but like I said, you activate one and they all activate. So maybe at some point in history, you activated a restaurant and they all activated for you. So it's a very, very, very simple activation process. And most people, I mean, I probably did it 5 years ago and I've not done it again. As long as your cards are in there, you should be good to go. Why is the accelerator a better multiplier if Built Cash 200 gives 5,000 points, whereas Built Cash 200 unlocks earn on 3.3 points per dollar of housing spend? Why is the accelerator a better multiplier if Built Cash 200? I'm so sorry. I'm not following this. If Built Cash 200 gives 5,000 points, whereas Built Cash 200 unlocks earn on housing spend, 200. So if $200 in Built Cash gives you 5,000 points, whereas Built Cash unlocks.
I think they're flip-flopping it. So if I read it correctly, if $200 in Built Cash gives you 5,000 points, whereas $200 in Built Cash unlocks an earn of $6,666.67 of housing spend. But I believe that's what you said, right, Kira? If your mortgage is more than your everyday spend, you go one way. And if your everyday spend is more than your mortgage, you go the other way, right?
Not only that, but 5,000 points can be worth a lot more than $6,666.67. So when you're using your Built Cash as a housing offset, you're using it dollar for dollar, cent for cent. Whereas when you earn points, every Built points has a higher valuation to it, which generically, conservatively speaking, is like 2.2 cents a piece. So if you apply that multiplier to your points earned, you're already getting more value. So really, when we're looking at this is your effective rate of points earned, not your dollar for dollar cash output, I think. And the way you explained it helped my brain get there. And hopefully that's what you were asking.
We all know who to thank, really. I'm just reading the chat while you're doing the hard part.
If my P2 is an authorized user on my Built Palladium, adds his Built card to Simply Miles, does that remove me from the Built dining portal or just his card? Also, he wants to keep his AA Miles active, and is Simply Miles enough to keep the AA active, meaning no need to tie the card to AA dining portal as well. So you just need to add 1 mile to your AA account, and that will keep those miles active. So whether it's through dining or their shopping portal, or you book a hotel, or you use Simply Miles, super, super easy to do. You should be able, if your authorized user card and your primary user card have different card numbers, to link them both to the dining portal and to Simply Miles without getting booted. So like Shannon was mentioning earlier, these are tied to card numbers, not to names. So as long as the card numbers are different, you should be able to diversify there. Can you add Visa gift cards to the Built dining portal? You can try it. I don't know if it will work. You can't do it very easily with Rakuten. They don't always connect. Sometimes if you try, eventually they will connect. So you could try it and see if you can get the multiplier there, but I don't think it's something that would reliably be efficient for you. Is there a claim process for Built if something isn't showing up? For example, if Walgreens never appears, do you have to go through an email or chat, or is there a claim process form? They do not yet have a claim process like a missing cashback or anything like that on Rakuten. Right now, they're telling you chat is the most efficient way to go. I know, I've heard it from everyone. It's very, very slow. I have seen online that sending them direct messages through Twitter is also working, but right now they're telling you chat is the best way if you have any problems with your card. Any word on when Built will add Zelle as a payment option? I don't know if they will. I know they said they were going to. They said this, 6 months ago or something, that they were going to add Zelle. We'll see if they add it, but no word yet on when it's happening. I think right now they're trying to calm the crowds from their rough rollout of the new cards before they start adding too many new changes to it. I have the final payment for a cruise coming up with Celebrity. Can I use Rakuten to get a multiplier if I've made a payment for that cruise on Rakuten before? Shannon?
Yeah, I don't believe you can. And I've never heard of anyone, from the lounge, from the cruise course, like it's that all initial shot. And we've got a couple of follow-ups, like when we did our conference cruise, right? Once I had initiated the deposit, right? When I was adding on the excursions and stuff like that, it didn't, you couldn't go through. One, you couldn't go through Rakuten anyway. Two, very rarely, like Kira said earlier, they're more the smaller, the Silver Seas, the the one that Julie likes, some more waterways or stuff like that. Amarosa is it. Those smaller ones, like they will pay to advertise on Rakuten. Carnival, Royal Caribbean, they're like, Holland Cruise, they're like, yeah, I got plenty of business. It's kind of like Apple. They don't need to pay.
Regarding questions about Rakuten and Celebrity Cruises, can't you just start a new shopping trip for any new purchase? Short cruises, blah, blah, blah. I got points for a water bottle package purchase for a Celebrity Cruise. That's
on Rakuten? I mean, you'll still get the points on your card, right? But normally it can't track in through an existing reservation. Now, if you just went to Celebrity Cruise, no, you'd still have to have, you have to purchase the packages in attachment to an itinerary.
An existing itinerary.
Yeah, and Celebrity Cruise, oh, it's Celebrity, right? Not Carnival. I was thinking Carnival. That's very different. Celebrity is very different than Carnival, by the way. Yeah, because all the excursions and stuff that I did for our conference cruise for the Royal Caribbean, the Perfect Day at Coco Cay, Julie didn't get the points, which me, I could understand. I might have done something wrong, but there's not anything Julie doesn't know about cruises and maximizing point earned. So.
Yes, I think that may have just been you've just been lucky. I'm reading the terms and conditions for Celebrity right now, and it says only available on cruise bookings and only for consumed days. Cashback not paid on extras such as excursions. So I think you just got lucky, Heather, and don't ever tell Rakuten and just take those points and dance with them.
Yeah, dance with them. Exactly. It's definitely your mileage may vary, and as Kira always reminds us, read the T's and C's.
In Rakuten Dining, is there a way to find a specific restaurant once you narrow down to a city without scrolling?
Yes, there's a magnifying glass at the top, right?
Yep,
so just type it in. And if you know the restaurant that you want and you're in that area, you shouldn't even have to do it because it should auto detect where you are, or you can search your area and then search the restaurant. I'm going to try and save your vocal cords if I can answer some of these.
Thank
Kira.
you.
You're welcome. Except the next one's a built cash. So there goes that plan.
No worries. No worries. I'm trying to redeem $200 of built cash to get 3x points on everyday spend. It says to unlock, switch your built Palladium card bonus from house only to flexible cash. Is this true? Yes. So you need to be earning built cash. You need to be telling built you want to be in the built cash world, not in the tiered world, to use your built cash. So yes, you need to switch to flexible built cash in order to use built cash.
And you are fully committed until your next statement.
Bingo. There is a mention of option 1 and option 2. I don't see it called that on built website. I assume if you don't have a mortgage or rent, I choose flexible built cash. Yes. When they first came out, it was option 1, option 2. So now it's flexible built cash is option 2. But yes, no mortgage or rent, no housing costs, choose a flexible built cash.
Hey,
huzzah!
Surprise!
Good.
Sorry, I was trying to keep up with the chat. There were y'all made it through a ton of questions tonight. Educated questions. I'll give some credit. There were some good questions because there's a lot going on right now.
There were
a lot of questions.
That's great. That's great. I know there were some really, really good ones in there. Enough to make me say, hey, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. So those good ones tonight.
Yep. Well, fantastic. Well, hey, thank you both, Kira, Shannon. I know I say this every month, but this is such a huge help. But I mean, I get to hear it every single month, and it helps me. But I'll speak on behalf of all of our members here as well. It's a huge help to get to come here and get to ask y'all questions and pick your brains and understand what it is that y'all are trying to communicate here. So, and big thanks to everybody who joined the party tonight. There were a lot of y'all out there. So definitely big thanks to everybody. This is always a lot of fun. Again, I'll just remind you, if you have more questions and you're a JGoot Vault member, you've got 6 Q&As every single month that you can join and be a part of. There's one more coming up this month in just a few days. Our JGoot family membership, one of my personal favorites, I might add. It's in my top 6 of JGoot memberships for sure. So
no playing favorites or anything.
It's a lot of fun. So we look forward to seeing many of you there as well. Stay tuned on the 1st of the month, I guess on rent day. That's also newsletter day around here. So it's a double whammy. And if you are a JGoot Vault member, we'll get you your email on the 5th, and that will have all of the info from all 6 memberships lined up for you. So you can master every aspect of the JGoot way of travel. So, hey, I do want to throw one thing out there real quick, because I know there were quite a few credit card questions that we can only answer so well in the chat and on these live streams because that's highly, highly personal. Around here, it's not as simple as, is it a good card or not? We're very, very strategic. And so if you're getting in the weeds that much and you need that level of support, we have a credit card expert that will help you with exactly those decisions. She'll talk with you about your personal spend, your goals, where you are right now, what your next steps are, and help build a credit card strategy specific to you. So if you're interested in that level of support, you can visit that site, jgoot.com/call. You'll speak with one of our advisors to learn a little bit more about what coaching looks like around here. You may get to speak with Shannon, right?
You will. You get to speak with me in between these calls.
Exactly. There's a lot going on around here. And if it is the right fit, they'll walk you through what it looks like. If it's not, that's great too. Shannon, you have real conversations with folks and tell them, hey, the lounge isn't the right fit right now. I want you to focus here. It'll be better for you, right?
100%. It's all about being the right fit. Just like all the compliments that we get from all the mini courses, they're like, wow, I learned so much. It just depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking to accelerate to your travel goals faster? Or are you good? You're happy with where you're at right now? Are you trying to go international more, raise your level of luxury? If it doesn't fit those criteria, they are not high pressure calls. We just want to get to know you better. If we really think that the lounge is something that would work for you, then we'll talk to you about it. And that's it.
Yep. I always tell people we haven't invented the technology that allows us to twist your arm through a cell phone. So it's a reasonably safe call. You'll survive it. I'm pretty certain of it. So
yeah, I think more than anything, we get the complaints, into support. They said I wasn't a fit.
Those are real conversations.
They're real conversations with your best interests at heart.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And hey, real quick, just about no further questions for y'all, but some membership stuff. These Q&A sessions are recorded. They're in the course area at jgoot.com/school. Every prior Q&A is going to be there. So if you are just in the Earning Multipliers course, you can log in there. You'll find it. If you are in the Vault, you'll log in as a Vault member and go to each individual course that you have access to. You'll find each of those individual Q&As. And the newsletters are there as well. We don't send them out to you individually because we don't want to bombard you with 6 different emails on the first of every single month. Our email server doesn't like that a whole lot. So we send you one notice. Hey, everything's up and ready for you. Log in and find it all here. We send that to you on the 5th of the month. So cool. I love seeing this. Thank you. It was very helpful. Kira, thank you. You've been using your voice a lot today. So
right.
Thanks for sharing it with us.
And thank you to the Warriors that came out for the live stream and then came back for the Q&A. So we appreciate you too.
For sure.
Thanks again, y'all. Have a great night. We'll see y'all next month.
Thank you. Happy travel.
Bye.